What's up, TBS crew? It's your boy Steph back with another reaction. This time we have Nightmare Files, 3 true disturbing close encounter horror stories, uploaded March 29th, 2019. Now, the first story is submitted by someone named Rat Plug. I don't know why that's funny. Story 2 was submitted by Chelsea Williams 469, and the third story is a personal experience of Nightmare Files himself. So with that information, down in the description will be a link to Nightmare Files channel, a link to this original video so y'all can see it for yourselves without my commentary. Also will be links to all of my social medias. Get at your boy and see the personal life that I don't upload to YouTube. Without further ado, let's get into it. I'm glad I read the description. That scared the fuck out of me. Rap Plug. That name is funny. It's sold today. That was jump scare.
This happened about 2 months ago. It was January 2019 and my parents went out to a party. They told me that they wouldn't be back until about 3 o'clock in the morning because the party starts at 8 p.m.
It'd be like
and the
that.
party is in New Jersey. We live in Connecticut, so it takes a while to get there and back. They told me to watch my 10-year-old brother and expected me to be responsible because I'm 15 years old.
Expected.
When they left, we watched movies all night while eating a bunch of popcorn. It was around 11:30, and we just finished watching Infinity War. I told my brother to brush his teeth and go to bed. I stayed up later to watch the movie, Logan. The movie ended, and it was about 2 in the morning. I was getting ready for bed when my brother came downstairs. I asked him what the hell he was doing up, and he said the boogeyman is in his closet, and he wants to touch me.
Oh.
I looked at him in confusion. My brother isn't the type of kid to pull pranks or joke around. He wanted me to check it out. I said fine and started saying that he probably heard, I don't know, a house noise. We have an old house. He said he heard a noise, and then the boogeyman said he wants to touch him.
Oh my God.
We went inside his room.
That's nasty.
I turned on the light and went over to the closet door. I opened it, and what I saw made me seriously angry. There was a tall, scruffy-looking man with long, black, greasy hair. He looked to be in his mid-40s, but he was fairly built. I was pissed off when I saw this creep watching my 10-year-old brother sleep, and I figured out what my brother meant when he said the boogeyman wanted to touch him.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off I punched him in his fucking throat. He dropped on the floor gasping for air, but I stepped on his face as hard as I could about
Stomp him
6
out.
times.
Stomp him out.
He was covered in blood and having trouble breathing. I grabbed my brother and ran into the bathroom, locking the door, calling the cops, then my parents.
Oh,
My parents
shit.
freaked out. In about 10 minutes, the cops showed up and searched the bedroom. He wasn't in there. They searched the house. He wasn't anywhere to be found. I gave them a good description of his appearance, and an officer even stayed at our house until sunrise.
Hey.
A week later, I was informed that the same guy was caught and arrested for raping an 11-year-old boy and murdering his parents.
Oh my God.
It turns out that he raped multiple children before and even murdered some of them and their parents. He was 47 years old and received the death sentence.
Good.
If my brother never came downstairs to tell me what happened, then I feared the worst could have happened to him, and I'm extremely thankful that it didn't.
Yep, he would have raped your brother and then more than likely came downstairs and killed you. If you touch children or molest children, you automatically deserve the death penalty. I don't care. You deserve the
This is told
worst.
from a female's point of view. This happened to me when I was 15 years old, my brother and I. We shared a very close bond. It was the middle of summer on a Friday with not much to do, and I was sitting on the family couch reading.
It'd be like that.
My little was 6 at the time, was in the living room playing with his toys, till I felt a tap on my shoulder. To see my brother, he asked if we can go to the pool. And I said, yeah, we can. We did a lot of things together since our parents were always working. Our mom was home at the time, but she had a lot of chores to do. My mother always warned us, but I knew about the dangers of being kidnapped. So for protection, I took a sharp dagger with me and hid it in my bag.
My man.
Anyway, we went to the pool. My brother met up with his friends, Tommy and Vlad. 3 boys played for a while. I sat on a bench to read. As time went on, I shot a quick glance at my brother who was still playing, till I noticed a big shadow overcast mine. I turned around to see a much older man. He looked to be in his 50s, but he looked pretty fit. He smelled like alcohol and cigarettes, with dark red hair and the darkest eyes. He had a short beard, and he wore torn clothing. He began to speak to me in a very dark, deep voice. The man called himself Andrew, but I didn't care. He said, "Hello there, little lady. What is a cute little thing like you doing here all alone?" He asked me as he showed me his rotting, decaying teeth. I knew nothing about this guy, but I knew something wasn't right.
Better run.
I was receiving very bad vibes from him.
Yeah.
He turned his head and looked at my brother. "I really like your little brother," he said. I quickly looked up, and I was wondering how he knew that was my brother. My brother got out the pool and was walking toward me. I got up and met him halfway. He said he wanted to go to the park and play. So we prepared to leave until I noticed the strange man from earlier was now talking to my little brother.
Oh, wow.
He told him he had some candy in his car, and he asked my brother, does he want some?
How cliche is that?
Rick had a weakness for candy, so of course he said yes.
What?
But as soon as I looked at the man, I noticed that he licked his lips.
See?
He slowly reached in his pocket to pull out a piece of cloth. I immediately thought chloroform.
Right.
That was a total red flag for me.
Fuck yeah.
I quickly called out to my brother that it's time to go, while that man glared at me. Finally, we went to the park. After a few minutes, I had forgotten about the man. I looked at my phone, and it was 3:30 p.m.
They bullshitting.
I knew it was time for us to head back home. But my brother and I left the park around 3:35 and began to walk home. Till my brother stopped dead in his tracks. And I turned and asked, "Why did you stop walking?" He didn't say anything, he just looked around. Then we continued to walk. Then I heard what sounded like a twig on the ground being stumped on. I quickly turned and slowly took the dagger out. And I stood in front of my brother. As I held the dagger close to me, I heard another noise, and it sounded like breathing, loud breathing. I watched in horror as the same man from the pool had appeared. He gave me a sick, twisted grin and his hands in his pockets. He said, "Two beautiful children, here of all places," as he stepped forward towards us. The man then shouted loudly at me and ran towards me and my brother. I quickly threw the dagger at him, and it hit him in the leg.
Ooh.
He fell to his knees in pain, and I quickly charged at him. And we fell to the ground. We rolled around for a while until he managed to get on top and began to choke me. I noticed the dagger that had fallen right beside my head. I got the dagger and I stabbed him in the stomach. Blood soaked my clothes as I kicked and stomped on the man until he was unconscious.
Right.
And me and my brother raced home. Both our parents were worried sick when they saw my brother and myself. The police found the man in the alleyway not too far from where he attacked us. My brother suffered from nightmares after that. After school, I was greeted by the cops, and they told me and my parents that the man who was watching us had actually killed a sister and brother. He had also had multiple photos of me and my brother. He's in jail now. Since that day, I pay more attention to my surroundings.
You don't say. Oh! Okay. All right. Hold on. Wait a second. Okay. Wait. Hold on. First of all, you gonna have to stop throwing these random scary ass jump scare sound effects at me. Second of all, there's a few flaws in this last story. First of all, you see some creepy guy who smells like alcohol and cigarettes coming up to you and your brother while you're at the pool. Secondly, he's complimenting you guys and then asks your little brother, does he want some candy? Because he has some apparently. Third, okay, you're smart enough to get him out of that situation while y'all were at the pool, but then you go to the fucking park. Fourth, you guys run into him again, right? But for some reason, it was either at the park or it was at the pool, one of those two, where you said that he pulled out a piece of cloth from his pants and you automatically thought chloroform. Which, I mean, I think any person with common sense and knowledge of that type of stuff would think the same thing. But what the fuck? Why the fuck is him pulling out the cloth what gave you the red flag, the red sign that something is shady is going on? But the fact that a grown-ass man, older gentleman at that, smelling like alcohol and cigarettes, is coming out of the bushes and offers your little brother candy, and that's not a red flag? Y'all parents ain't teaching y'all shit. These should just be 3 pedophile stories. This shit
Years
disturbing.
ago, when I was in the 5th grade, my friends and I were walking home from school when we noticed some of the other kids laughing very loudly at something.
This Nightmare Files
running
personal
away
experience.
like they were disgusted. We looked back, and they were laughing at this woman who was walking behind us. We didn't know why because we saw her every day when we were walking home from school. We just never spoke with her, or we never even seen her up close.
Why would you?
We moved closer to see what was so funny, and we definitely noticed what the other kids were making ruckus about. This was a man dressed in a miniskirt with high heels on. The other kids were throwing sticks and rocks at it, but he never responded. He just smiled while he was walking.
Watch out for him.
A few days later, I just so happened to be watching the news, and I saw the same guy's face on the news. My friend who lives around the corner was getting her mail when she saw the man across the street watching her. He waved and he started skipping across the street like a little girl while loudly asking her, "Do you remember me?" She was one of the kids that threw rocks at him. She shut her door as he started running full speed toward her house while wearing a wig, miniskirt, heels, and a woman's tank top.
With 3 legs.
He started banging on her door until she called the police. He was caught within minutes.
Hell yeah.
Anything could have happened to us that day with this guy roaming our neighborhood. But luckily, nothing ever happened to any of the kids that I knew.
That shit is crazy. Yeah, these were damn near 3 pedophile stories. Everyone in each of these stories was on some child molestation shit. That last one, hit or miss. Wait a minute, I just thought about something. Hold on.
Nightmare Files.
I fucks with you, NF. I fucks with you. So the problem is, I just remember one little detail from that second story where I had to pause the video after it was done. Didn't he say that the big sister or whatever saw the old man lick his lips after he told the young boy he had candy and the little boy said, okay, he'll go with him? Oh, come on. That's some true pedophile shit, man. Come on, bruh. I've never understood what turns grown men and occasionally grown women on about adolescence, about babies, children, man. Like, what makes y'all touch and rape and molest and all this? What makes y'all do stuff to kids? Like, they're the pictures of innocence. Well, at least when they get to a certain age, but still, like, children all the women, all the men out here you can have for a little bit of nothing, if not nothing, and you want to fuck around with children? Like, I'm not even going to get too into it because I don't even have kids, but that's just a subject. It irritates me that there are people like this in society. But, I mean, there's nothing you can do. You could just, you know, teach your children right. Teach them about stranger danger. Obviously, these parents didn't do shit because the big sister didn't say nothing until she saw the older guy take that piece of cloth out of his pocket. Then she's like, oh, shit. He may be on something. Yes, he was on something the fucking second he stepped out the bushes. All this bullshittery is all up in the air. It's damn near toxic. I couldn't go for none of this shit. All this shit is foul. I can't. Nah, bruh. That second story was the one that had me the most. I don't know about y'all, which story had y'all the most, but that second story had me the most. Like, literally, he walked out of the bushes, walked up to y'all while y'all were in the pool, and followed y'all till y'all went to the park. And the only red sign you had is not when he told your little brother to come with him because he had candy, and you knew your brother had a weakness for candy. It's when he pulled something out of his fucking pocket, a piece of cloth or whatever it was. That's when your antennas stood up? Really? Fucking bullshit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like my reaction, like the video, comment on the video, and share the video. If you really liked it, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out a lot. And tap that bell icon so you will get notified every time I drop new content, which I do on a weekly basis. That is all I got for y'all this time around. Your boy Steph is out.